Welcome to Chalk and Wires, the official podcast from EmpowerWire, where traditional teaching meets purposeful technology. I'm Dr. Antoinette Bradley, your guide on this journey. Each week, I bring you practical strategies, real stories, and tools you can use right away without adding to your plate. This season, we're focusing on sustaining the spark, keeping your classroom, your coaching, and your leadership grounded, energized, and aligned through the busiest stretch of the semester. Whether you're refining routines, checking in with your team, or mapping out mid-year goals, this space is your weekly boost of clarity and purpose. Today's episode is called When Engagement Feels Flat. We're diving into simple, sustainable ways to reignite curiosity when participation dips, attention wanders, and lessons start to feel a little November-ish. If you're feeling that late semester lull, this is for you. So grab your coffee, plug in your earbuds, and let's jump in. Today's big idea is the question anchor. One consistent, open-ended question you use across a lesson to redirect energy, build curiosity, and center relevance. When engagement fades, it's usually because students don't see the purpose in what they're doing. Novelty is temporary. Purpose sticks. The question anchor is a short, well-crafted question that connects your learning target to students' lives, choices, or a real-world problem. Use it at 3 predictable moments: launch to provoke thinking, mid-lesson to refocus, and exit to reflect. That predictable cadence creates flow and keeps curiosity alive. Here's a quick example. In a middle school social studies unit on civic voice, the question anchor could be, who might use this idea and what could they change? At the launch, students brainstorm people who could use the concept. Mid-lesson, they evaluate a classroom example through that lens. At exit, they write a single sentence, who and what they would change. Same question, 3 check-ins. Big effect on relevance. Here's why this works. It creates a clear purpose lens. Students answer the same question from different angles. It reduces decision fatigue. Students know the routine and can move into thinking faster. And it scales across modalities. It works with whole class talk, pair share, independent writing, or tech-based responses. So here's your quick application to try tomorrow. Choose one question anchor tied to your learning goal. Announce the question at the start. Today our question should be displayed on the board. Use it at a predictable midpoint, a 2-minute partner share, or a 60-second digital poll. Close by asking students to answer one sentence or image. Here are 5 sample question anchors you can steal now. Who would care about this and why? What's one problem this could solve in our school or community? How could you explain this in 30 seconds to a friend? What surprised you? And what do you now want to know? What would you change to make this work better? That single question, repeated with purpose, will pull attention back to relevance, not novelty. And it's low prep. Today's Tech Spotlight focuses on 3 lightweight tools you mentioned: Pear Deck, FigJam, and Mentimeter. Plus, quick, focused ways to use each with the question anchor. Here's why Pear Deck is awesome. You can do live formative questions that let every student respond. No raise your hand bottleneck. There are built in slides and student workspace that keep attention on the lesson. There are also quick formative reports. They help you see who's with you and who needs a little nudge. Here's how you can use Peer Deck tomorrow. Turn one slide into a question anchor prompt. Launch a 90-second interactive response, whether it's a text entry or a draggable. And then use the teacher view to call on 2 to 3 student responses that surface diverse thinking. Here's why FigJam is awesome. There's low friction collaborative whiteboard for visual thinking and quick idea clustering. Multiple cursors and sticky notes mean every voice can post an idea fast. It's great for brainstorming. You're brainstorming who would care or mapping solutions to a local problem. Here's how you can use FigJam tomorrow. Create a FigJam board with 3 columns: people, problem, solutions. Give students 2 minutes to add sticky notes under each column. And then do a 60-second gallery walk and synthesize a theme. Here's why Mentimeter is awesome. It's anonymous live polling and word clouds that reveal honest thinking. Fast setup, and it's ideal for mid-lesson energy checks. And there are visual results. Those visual results surface trends and spark whole class discussion. Now here's how you can use Mentimeter tomorrow. Mid-lesson, launch a 1-question poll anchored to your question. Share the results live. Ask one follow-up. Which response surprised you? And then use the results to group students for the next task. Here's this week's challenge. Combine one tool with the question anchor each week. So week 1 would be Pear Deck for accountability. Week 2, FigJam for ideation. Week 3, Mentimeter for quick reflection. That rotation keeps the tech fresh but not overwhelming. You could use Peer Deck for whole class guided responses, FigJam for visual, collaborative idea generation, and Mentimeter for quick, anonymous temperature checks. For leaders listening, here's the core insight. Spotlight purpose, not production. When administrators or instructional coaches walk in, teachers feel evaluated for flashy tech or perfect slides. Instead, look for routines that make learning meaningful. Celebrate teachers who consistently use strategies that center student thinking, even if the tech looks simple. Here are some concrete moves that leaders can try tomorrow. Use a walkthrough cue card. It's going to have 3 purpose questions. So when you carry this small card, it's going to have 3 prompts. What's the learning purpose? How is student thinking visible? How will students apply this? Ask teachers to post a slide or chart answering these prompts. Use them as quick praise points in post walkthrough feedback. 2. Micro spotlight during staff meetings. Once every 2 weeks, invite one teacher to share a 3-minute demo of a routine, not a full lesson. Focus on the question anchor and one low prep tech use. Public recognition matters. 3. Observation swap. Pair teachers for 20-minute peer watch sessions where each watches the other and notes how the question anchor is used. Follow up with a 10-minute debrief. 4. Recognition tokens. Create a relevance badge, whether it's digital or sticky, that teachers earn for consistent use of purpose centered routines. Then celebrate them in newsletters. Finally, coach, model, and release. Coaches model a 10-minute lesson for a question anchor and a simple tool. Then co plan a reteach with the teacher for the next week. Here's a quick story. I visited a school where the principal stopped asking, did they use tech? And started asking, how visible was student thinking? The shift changed the conversation. Teachers began using tech only when it made thinking visible and engagement became more sustainable. Try these moves this week. Carry the walkthrough card, spotlight one routine, and offer a peer watch. These small shifts signal that you value purpose over polish. Here's a story from a ninth grade ELA teacher I coached. I'll call her Miss Riviera. November hit like a wall. Kids were there, but their eyes were on the clock. I stopped trying to make every lesson exciting and instead asked one better question. How might someone use this story to change one thing in our community? Then I let students make a 2-slide digital story. 1 slide for the problem, 1 slide for the change. We used FigJam for planning and Pear Deck for quick checks. The energy came back because they were choosing what mattered. Relevance plus choice beats constant novelty. Miss Riviera's move was simple. 1 powerful question, student choice in product, which was the digital story, and low stakes checkpoints that kept everyone on track. The result? Deeper conversations, improved drafts, and real peer feedback. So if you're tempted to design an elaborate re-engagement plan, start smaller. Pick a question anchor and 1 product choice that connects to students' lives. Let them lead the creative work. Here's today's takeaway. Energy follows purpose. Anchor engagement and relevance, not novelty. Your one action for tomorrow is this. In 10 minutes, 1. Choose a question anchor tied to tomorrow's lesson. Pick one from the 5 examples earlier if you would like. 2. Decide one low-tech or analog routine to collect answers. Pear Deck, quick prompt, a FigJam column, or a sticky note exit ticket. 3. Tell students, today our question is, and use it at launch, mid, and exit. Keep responses short and visible. Here are 5 quick solutions, a recap, so you leave with options. 1. Use a consistent question anchor across lesson moments. Try Pear Deck for whole class responses and formative checks. Use FigJam for fast collaborative ideation and planning. Launch a Mentimeter word cloud mid-session for honest temperature checks. Leaders, use a 3-question walkthrough card to spotlight purpose over polish. Now let's keep the momentum rolling. Hit subscribe so you're first in line for next week's episode. We've got more ideas coming your way. Pass this along to a colleague who's ready to bring some energy back to the classroom. We're building a community of tech-savvy, future-ready educators, and your share can make the circle even bigger. You've got this. This is Chalk and Wires, where teaching meets tech and big ideas spark lasting change. Let's make learning shine.